And with that, welcome to the room selection workshop. Thank you all for attending. Thank you all for wanting to return to campus for another year. We really appreciate it. We think that you've made the correct decision. Um, I will let you know, Ayush, about when the recording will be posted, but hopefully soon. So today we are going to go over some few facts and tips to help you with the room selection process, and then we're actually going to go in. I'm going to be a group leader, and I'm going to show you how a group leader logs in, selects a space, assigns the students in their group to the bedrooms, so you guys can see how that works. This workshop is meant to be very proactive, so there are going to be times where I pause the presentation to just see if there's questions out there. Okay, so with that, we will get started. Let's talk about some key dates. Yesterday, we had a very good roommate mixer on North Campus in Piancheng. We have another one tonight in Prince Frederick in the multipurpose room today at 6 p.m. So if you're still looking for a roommate or looking to add roommates to your group, please come to that mixer tonight. And then the fun all begins next week, starting March 4th. Room selection at 9 a.m. will begin. Students who have the earliest appointments will be able to select starting at 9 a.m. The deadline is March 11th, 4 p.m. Um, what we're saying is that you have to select something by March 11th at 4 p.m. Otherwise, we will cancel your housing. So even if there's nothing that you really wanted available when your appointment time comes, select something, and then we have a reassignment process that we'll talk about later. Okay, so we have three unique processes for room selection that are happening simultaneously. Students who are in a living and learning program, they're able to select a space within their living and learning program. Students who are in group sizes from 4 to 6 are able to pick spaces that fit that group size. And then we also have individual and small group selection. These are group sizes 2 and 3, as well as individuals. For all three processes will be happening at the same time. So if you are in a living and learning program, you will be able to see two of the processes. If you're in a large group, you're only going to be able to see large units, and likewise for the smaller groups and individuals. Okay, so what would be available? Again, if you are in a living learning program and you are in a large group, you will be able to see the semi-suites in Prince Frederick Hall. Only students who are rising sophomores that are in the ACES program, IBH, and DCC, and they have a group of 4, will be able to see a semi-suite in Prince Frederick. Only students who are in these programs are able to select a semi-suite in Prince Frederick. Rising sophomores have appointments between March 4th and March 5th. Students who are in a living learning program but are in smaller groups, such as ACES, IBH, DCC, ILS, Gemstones, Honors Global Communities, Honors Humanities, Civicus, Writers House, and University Honors, uh, are able to choose spaces within their living learning program. Again, if you're in one of the Prince Frederick living learning programs, semi-suites, doubles, and singles are available to you depending on your group size. If you are in Scholars, you can return to your program building, and we will have triples, doubles, and quads available for you. You're in the Honors Global Communities. Dorchester is available, but only at limited spaces available. There's just 34. If you are in ILS, Gemstones, or University Honors, we have reserved the 3rd and 4th floor of La Plata for you, since you're unable to return to your specific program building. But La Plata gives you the option of being together in community if that's something that you're still looking for. Students who are in the Writers House will be able to choose Queen Anne's, the 1st and 2nd floors. If you're in Honors Humanities, again, very limited what's available in Anne Arundel, but there are 24 spaces available. Students who are in Civicus program, this is the last year that you will be able to return to Somerset. And you'll also be able to choose Centerville, so you have 2 options. if you're not interested in returning to your living learning program, then you can participate in our general room selection. Appointments for this group are available on March 4th and 5th. Okay, so you have a large group, a group size from 4 to 6. You're a rising sophomore. You're eligible. If you're a rising sophomore, you will be able to select a South Hill suite or an apartment. You'll be able to select an apartment in Leonardtown or a semi-suite in Oakland. Obviously, the semi-suites in Oakland are very popular. And they hold for groups of 4, but those will be available. You're a rising junior and senior, same rules apply to you. You begin selecting on March 5th, and those same spaces are available. Students who are in smaller groups, you're a rising sophomore, you are still able to select within South Hill Suites, apartments, and Oakland semi-suites. But in addition, you now can choose amongst the traditional spaces, the singles, doubles, triples, and quads. These spaces are only available in non-living learning program buildings, such as Denton Hall. There are singles available in Caroline, Carroll, Wacomico. We have the second floor of the Plato that will be available for room selection. Singles will also be available in Hagerstown and Ellicott. Same thing for rising juniors. Only difference is that rising juniors and seniors will pick on March 5th, but all the same spaces will be available. On our website, you'll be able to take a look to see all the various units that are available for the various group sizes. So take a visit to our website, reslife.umd.edu, and you'll be able to see what units will fit your specific group size. It'll look a little like this. If you have a group of 6, there are 8 apartments in Allegheny. There are 4 suites in Allegheny. You have a group of 6 and you want Frederick, where there's 2 apartments available there. There's no suites available. If you wanted Calvert, there were 2 suites available for a group of 6. And all the various group sizes will be available on our website, so you can try to begin making plans for room selection for your group. Just so you have an idea of who you're competing with, there are about 626 groups that have been formed. I think there's more now since we did yesterday's roommate mixer. So we invited 3,631 students to do room selection. So far, there were 39 groups of 6, 22 groups of 5, 251 groups of 4. Folks, there are not 251 semi-suites available in Oakland. So not everybody's going to be able to get into Oakland. Please have a backup plan just in case. Again, there's 80 groups of 3, 234 groups of 2, 51 groups of 1, and another 280 students who are selecting as individuals. And I'm going to pause here to see if there's any questions. Unmic yourself and ask away. Unmute yourself, I should say, and ask away.
Sorry, did you say that these are the numbers for this year, like with the Group 7 account?
That's correct.
Yeah. And you said that technically it's very unlikely to get Oakland semi-suite, so then you would want a backup plan in that case?
I'm not saying it's unlikely. I'm just saying we don't have that many semi-suites. So if your goal is Oakland, your appointment time isn't probably within the next couple of hours of room selection at the 9 a.m., have a backup plan.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions before we move on? Okay, so the group leader should be the one who has the earliest appointment. If you haven't already, if you have a group leader who formed a group, but now that someone else in the group has a better appointment, you can switch to the person with the best appointment. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Remember, the group leader is going to be selecting for the entire group, which means that only the group leader needs to log into the portal at that time. There's 3,600 of you. We don't need all of you in the portal because that will slow the portal down. So only the group leader should go in and select. The other students should not be in the portal. It's also the group leader's responsibility to assign the students in their group to the specific bedroom. So please discuss with your group leader who's supposed to get the single, who's supposed to get the double, triple, so forth. If you're in a suite or an apartment, if you're choosing Oakland, who's going to be on one side of the semi-suite and who's going to be on the other side of the semi-suite. The group leader should know all of that before their appointment. Remember, if you're a rising sophomore, you choose first. The rising juniors and seniors choose second. So as a rising sophomore, most of the campus will be available for you. It just depends on your appointment time. And as I noted before, there's a chance that you may not get your first choice, so please have a backup plan. It's important that you do choose something, otherwise we will cancel your housing. You may pick something that you're not crazy about. Well, we have a reassignment process in June, so you may be able to get reassigned back to another place. Last year, we were able to offer Oakland to some students during the reassignment process. We was able to offer South Hill Suites and apartments to students during the reassignment process. So all is not lost if you don't get it during room selection. So we are here to help. We are extending our hours next week. Typically, our hours are 8:30 to 4:30, but next week we'll be answering emails to 6 p.m. We'll be taking your phone calls between 6 p.m. between 8:30 and 6 p.m. The main office hours will still be from 8:30 to 4:30. And new this year is that we have a chat feature. So between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. next week, Tony, who's actually answering the questions right now, will be available in the chat. So next week, you can log into the housing portal during these times. There'll be a little icon that says, let's chat. Click on that and ask your questions, and Tony will uh, answer all the questions. So again, the chat is located on the housing portal. Okay, I'm going to again pause before we do the actual presentation selection and see if there's any other questions out there. Please unmute yourself if you have a question.
Hi, I have a question. I'm reading the chat and I'm a little bit confused. I'm seeing, well, basically the question is like, if you have only two people in your group, are you only able to select a room that's only for two people, or are you able to select like two beds in a suite that's for four or six? And then same
Sure.
with four people, would you be able to select four
Yes.
four
So
beds in a six-person thing?
so we have reserved some spaces for the smaller groups. So there are some units in South Hill, Leonardtown, and Oakland that group sizes 1 through 3 will be able to select.
Okay, thank you. What about for a group of four? Like, would you be able to, if there's no more specifically, if there aren't any more suites or apartments that are only for a group of four, would you be able to select four spots in a suite or apartment made for six people and just have two other random people? Like, you wouldn't select them, or
That's
would you
next.
need to add two people?
That's an excellent question. So the small groups are able to select. They don't have to fill the unit. They can just, if I have a group of two, I can pick a 6-person unit and just take the 2 spots. But for the large groups, which are 4 through 6, you're only going to see units that fit your size. If you have a group of 4, the only spaces that you see will be spaces that are for groups of 4. And again, we'll show you that when we do our mock selection. So if you want to add members to your group leader certainly can do that to give yourself a larger group, or you can remove members to have a smaller group.
I have a question about the spaces available for room selection.
Hmm.
Um, on the website, it says that they can change. Is there any, like, would they change like before Monday? Like, would we be able to see that? Or I don't know how to phrase my question.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We don't expect that there would be any changes, but we know that there are some students who are in like groups of 8 that have been trying to get a spot for a group of 8. So we don't know if they'll be successful or not. But they will have to do that outside of room selection, so they could take a unit that was meant for a small group. But other than that, there shouldn't be any changes. Do keep in mind that the what's on the website is is set. They won't update. Like if somebody chooses a Allegheny 6-person unit, it's not going to update on the website. We're just telling you this for planning purposes. When the group leader is in the portal, the group leader will actually see what's available at that time.
Okay. So what's on the website right now is like what you know now, but
Hmm.
what's gonna be updating live is the actual portal.
And you got it.
Okay, cool. And so we're not able to see that before our appointment time?
Yeah, you won't be able to. The group leader will not be able to log in to see anything until their appointment time, which
Okay,
makes sense. Why see spaces that won't be available to you?
okay. Thank you.
What other questions do we have? Okay, then I am going to select a room. Okay, I'm going to log into the portal. Oops. By the way, that chat feature will be right here in this little corner here. So it'll say "Let's chat." So jump in on Monday at 10 o'clock. Okay, so when you go to the portal, you'll see this big room selection link here. Your group selection appointment is right here. So if someone in the group has a better appointment, then the group leader can switch it to the person who has the best appointment, and then this will show up for the entire group. Okay, so then the group leader will click here and continue. Okay, so this is for fall 2024. Please don't select the wrong term. Select the correct term. Okay, and then you see your status. So all of you guys, if you got that email yesterday morning that says you're eligible to do the room selection, you'll be able to proceed on. All students will be asked this question if you want to have a mixed gender group or not. Answer yes or no, and then continue. Okay, so here's your group page. Your group leader has the ability to remove a roommate. The group leader has the ability to make someone else in their group the group leader. So you all will have discussed this with the group leader before all of this happens to say, my appointment is better than yours, so um, give me the best appointment. The group leader will be able to see everyone's appointment down here at the bottom. So the group leader could say, okay, Len, I'm going to switch it over to you because your appointment is better than mine. And then the group leader will go here, make that person the group leader, and then it'll knock me back out the portal, and then Len will be going in and then making the selections for this group. But since I'm the group leader, I'm going to continue on. Okay, I have a group of 4. So this is what's available to me as a group of 4. There's something in Ellicott, there's spaces in Oakland, there's spaces in South Hill. Notice that you don't see Leonardtown here. Leonardtown does not have any units that fit a group of 4. I'm not in ACES, I'm not in DCC, I'm not in IBH, so I don't see Prince Frederick. But I want one of semi-suites, and my appointment is better than all of you, so I'm going to select Oakland. we recommend that you have different ways to filter. You can filter by room type, you can filter by community, you can filter by building. We recommend that you filter by building to get the quickest results. So I'm going to do that. And now I only see Oakland spaces. You see that there's a little lag time before the building's populated, and that's just with me on the portal. Imagine when it's all of you on the portal. So that's the reason why, again, we stress that it's only the group leader who needs to be in the portal. Only the group leader can select the space. Okay, so here's all the spaces that are available to me. My group wants to live on the second floor in Oakland. You can see what the prices are. You can see the room type. So I'm going, and it's also noteworthy up here, so you know if you're planning on being here for a break, that La Plata Hall um, is the place for break housing, along with the heritage community. So keep in mind. Oakland is where I want to go, so I'm going to add Oakland to my cart. This is very similar to Amazon. You see the space that you want, you add it to your cart. Now everybody is this is a live process, so other groups are in and they're also looking to select a space. So you should move quickly. Oakland is what you want. You should quickly add it to your cart. Now Oakland is a semi-suite, so there's two spaces in A, there are two spaces in B, but when I click add a cart, it's going to add all 4 spaces to my group of 4. Okay, so as the group leader, this room is in my cart. I have 10 minutes. You see a little timer up here, 10 minutes to make a decision. Is this what we want for the group? And I have within those same 10 minutes to assign everyone. So you don't have time to dilly-dally. You need to make a decision. If you decide I don't want to come, I'm not sure, and you go back, just remember you lose this room from your cart. You cannot have more than one room in your cart, and you cannot go shopping while you have something in your cart. So you really have to make your decision once you put it in the cart. Is this what we want? And then make your selections.
What does it look like when you press select bed?
Let me get that in a minute. I want to answer. There was a question in the chat about how many groups you can have. You can only have one group at a time. So if you want to change your groups, you have to remove members or come out of the group yourself, but you can only have one group at a time. Okay, so I'm going to pick these beds for my group. As the group leader, I'm putting myself in A, putting my friend over here in the other A, putting the other 2 guys in B. And again, I got to do all this before that timer runs out. The last step is to assign beds. You cannot skip this step. Yes, Vivian.
Are you able, through the portal, are you able to see whether a bed is a double or a single?
Yes, before it showed you the room type. When I was clicking on it, it'll show you the room type.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm still not done. This room is not mine. Room selection is not over. I'm at this last confirmation page. This does not mean that it's over. You have to do the last step, which is to confirm your selection. Okay, so you can see what the rate for the rooms are. You see all of your students, your friends have been assigned. You have to do this last step, which is to confirm selection. You don't do this part, you will not be assigned to this room, and that room goes back out into the inventory. So make sure you're at a good location when you're picking your rooms, you have a good connection. But once you hit confirm selection, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to take a room from you all. But if once I hit confirm selection, then that is my space for our group for next year. Okay, again, let's pause and take some questions. And I can also go back if you guys want to see anything again.
I actually had a quick question, if no one else is gonna have one here. So once you get to that part where it says the large group selection, it says like Leonardtown, Oakland, and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like leave your groups, you're just one person.
Mm-hmm.
Will it then like change to say like I think you say like Hagerstown and Elkett, which have traditional singles and doubles? Is that how that'll look? Like it'll change?
Let's find out.
All right.
So I done lost my Oakland space now, so I'm going to go all the way back to my group. And you know what? I don't really like these guys, so let's lose them. Goodbye, group of 4. Now I'm a group of 1. So let's see what I see now. Look what's available to me. Again, I am not in a living learning program. I can see Denton, Ellicott, Heritage, Oakland, North Hill, Leonardtown, and South Hill. These Oakland spaces are semi-suites. So even though I'm by myself, I still have access to semi-suites. Same thing for Leonardtown, same thing for South Hill. These the Denton communities, those are doubles and singles. In the Heritage community, we have 48 spaces available in double rooms in Tianchen and 48 spaces in Johnson Whittle, all double rooms.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any concerns about this process? Is kind of easy, right? Are all the rooms in the Oakland semi-suites? That is correct. Only there are some double rooms but they are not available during room selection. If you're in a group of 4, you're only going to see spaces that have 4 beds. You won't see anything that has 6. Alexander wants me to select South Hill. Your wish is my command. Again, we suggest that you filter by building, so I really want to live in Allegheny. So look at the spaces that are available to me in Allegheny, quite a few, for a group of 1. Sure. Somebody wants to know how we get to this page. Just remember, only the group leader is able to do this. So I'm the group leader. So when I get to this page, it's going to say initial selection. Until your appointment time comes, you're not going to see any of this. It's just going to stop here at the please note until your appointment time comes. And when your appointment time, the group leader's appointment time comes, that's when all these spaces become available. If you are in a group of 3 and you pick a semi-suite, somebody who's like me, who's by themselves, will be able to pick that 4th spot in the semi-suite. Does Prince Frederick have doubles available? Yes, there are some doubles available, but only, again, Prince Frederick is only for students who are in DCC, ACES, and IBH. If you are not in one of those living programs, Prince Frederick is not available. As you see, I didn't see Prince Frederick because I'm not in those programs. These are some great questions, people. Keep them coming. After you confirm the selection, no, you won't be able to change the rooms. You can send us an email. The group leader can send us an email, and we'll manually put them in the right bedroom. Who goes into what room prior to selecting, however. See, lots of interest in South Hill. That's good news. Yes, someone asked if once you put the room in the cart, it is no longer available for anyone else to choose, but you got 10 minutes to assign those beds. Someone asked, does groups, can a group of, can a unit that holds 6 students be available for a group of 4? A group of 4 will only be able to see 4-person rooms. That's why I didn't see Leonardtown, because there are no 4-person rooms in Leonardtown, and there are some 4-person rooms in South Hill. Tracy asked if there are double rooms uh, with 2 students, I guess you're asking. And again, if you're in a group of 2, just like I'm in a group of 1, you'll be able to see either 2 singles or a double for your group. A group of 3 will see a double and a single or a triple. Alex, I'm trying to understand your question. Um, if you select Denton, the markings will say traditional single room. That's correct. Let me pick one. I'm gonna choose Denton. I only want a single room in Denton, so I'm gonna filter by traditional air with single. And I only want Denton, so I'm gonna filter by Denton. And you can see what singles are available. There's a few on each floor. Any other questions out there? Feel free to unmute. Any last questions before we come to a close? For a suite of 5 beds, can a group of 4 select it? A group of 4 can only select spaces that have 4 beds. You cannot select more than that. The large groups are meant to only fit their group size. So if you have a group of 5, you're only going to see a unit with 5 beds. You have a group of 6, you're only going to see units with 6 beds. Yes, if you have a group of 2, you would be able to select a semi-suite, and then 2 other students would be able to select the other half. Joanna, you're asking about a random person to make a group of 6. To get that person, you have to find the roommate yourself. So you can either come to the roommate mixer tonight, Prince Frederick at 6 p.m., or use the roommate finder or social media or any other means to find that 6 person. But you have to have it. Otherwise, your group of 5 is only going to see 5-person units. Caleb, I think I'm understanding your question. When you select the bed, that particular bedroom would be for your group. So if you have a double, if you have a unit and you pick the single bed, that person would be assigned to the single room. Great question about bathrooms, Nicholas. So yes, now that you're moving on to semi-suites and suites and apartments, it is your responsibility to clean the bathroom. If you have an apartment, it's your responsibility to clean the kitchen. Only traditional halls do we do the cleaning. You are still able to add people to your group up until you select a space, or March 11th, whichever comes first. Sonia asked about how many bathrooms per apartment. It does vary. Some apartments have two, some have one. You again, you can go log into the um, look at the layouts in the various bedrooms. And matter of fact, someone asked me to do that, so let me do that now. If you want to be able to see the various layouts, what they look like, you just go to the layout page on our website. You see some virtual tours, see what the single rooms look like. You can see what a semi-suite looks like. And all the various amenities here. And if you want to see a specific building, then you come over here in the room, the residence halls, whichever building that you are interested in. For example, I'm interested in South Hill, and I want to see what it looks like in Allegheny. So I can log in here and see what the floor plan is. So you can look at the various floor plans for the rooms in Allegheny. These are some great questions. Feel free to continue asking. Well, this workshop is coming to a close, but just remember, we're here all next week via phone calls, via emails, and via chat. You can always come to our office. Can I show what it looks like to select a room in the portal in Hartford or Prince George's? Again, I'm an individual right now, so I'm only able to see what small groups can see. But in Hartford, you can see what's available here. So, for example, 3105C Hartford is a double room that requires bunk beds. Well, again, thank you all for your attention. Thank you all for, again, coming back to campus for another year and coming to today's workshop. Once again, if you have any questions about the process, feel free to give us a call, come to the chat, come to the office, send us an email. We'll be available. You guys have a great evening.